Not exactly the best way to start your day with your black tank on your RV totally full. I'm John from Fly 8 Mike Alpha, CFI turned airline pilot turned back to CFI. Come along on my journey, flying Alaska to Florida and beyond. Alright, when we first started this trip, you guys specifically asked us to include all the parts of the trip, right? So not just, you know, the fun, amazing, flying great parts, but also the not so great parts and all the kind of bad stuff that comes along with trying to live out in an RV and fly around the country. And obviously there's some downsides to it. So today, if you're a little squeamish, you may want to skip ahead in this episode because we're starting off by emptying our sewer. And we have this clear elbow that's going to tell us exactly when this thing is empty. It's going to be really, really gross. We're just going to give that black tank valve a one big pull full open, and we'll see what comes out right there.
We are
on the road again, Dallas, Texas.
Here we come.
So we're here with Lauren in Arlington, Texas. Now we're in Stephenville Clark Regional Airport.
Yep.
Gonna grab some barbecue.
Heck yeah.
And I wanna know what Lauren's favorite thing and least favorite thing is about the 210, because he's got a really, really sweet Centurion here. So what would you say is the best thing about the 210 and what is the worst thing?
I think the best thing about the 210 is how fast it is, how we can travel long distances. My wife's family's in Tulsa. It's 90 minutes, DFW to Tulsa. The worst thing about it is the speed. You really need to plan stuff ahead of time. It's easy to get behind the airplane. You have to plan your descent. It's not like a 172.
So what do you usually see true up at altitude?
At true, we can get 200.
200 true, wow. And that's on about, you said about 15 gallons an hour?
15 an hour.
It's efficient.
Yeah,
it's really efficient.
Yeah.
And it's got the gear doors. I mean, you don't see many 210s out there with gear doors.
We kept the gear doors on it. We were lucky to find one that had the gear doors for sale.
What's the best way to plan a descent then? Do you, math-wise, do you just drop the gear? What do you do to bring in drag?
I do math.
Okay, yeah. So a 3-degree descent is what you're aiming for?
Yeah.
Nice. And do you always stick with a 3-degree descent even at those speeds, or do you make it shallower?
It depends on what the winds aloft are too.
Mm-hmm.
I try to calculate that all into the equation.
Gotcha. So just looking at your ground speed and figuring out a good descent rate. And
Foreflight's awesome because I can just pull that up,
Yep.
look at all the winds aloft, and go, okay, I know if I drop it at this angle, I'm going to hit right there, as opposed to going through different headwinds and missing the mark. It really flies hands-free great.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, let's go grab some barbecue.
Let's do it.
So we got some really good Texas barbecue, had these amazing little something deep fried bacon wrapped whatevers that were really good, and then we hit the road again to continue trekking westbound towards Post, Texas, get as far as we possibly could for spending the night in a Walmart parking lot, which actually isn't really as bad as it sounds, actually pretty convenient, and if you need anything 24 hours a day, you can just walk right into Walmart and get whatever groceries or food or whatever you need. After a cozy night in the Walmart parking lot, we headed over to Jeff and Gina's place in Post, Texas for an amazing flight around their ranch in their Bell 407. Is it a 5/8 will do, right? 5/8 and cotter pin?
It actually expands. So when you pull this down,
Oh, it swells up
the
to
pin
take up
expands. Yep.
the extra space.
So it goes from being a $7 trailer pin to a $700
Exactly.
helicopter bolt.
Actually, a $3,000 helicopter bolt.
Oh my.
Yeah.
We found ourselves in Post, Texas with fellow Soldovians.
So these are good friends from Soldovia. They come up every summer and then even in winter time, which is really rare. And we're gonna go, Jeff and Gina here, and they're gonna take us out in this beautiful 407 that I've never
Who makes the 407, Steph?
a helicopter company called Bell.
Very good.
Pass the test.
So Jeff, tell us about this helicopter.
It's a 7-place helicopter. You got a turbine engine, kicks out about 800 horses. It's a Rolls-Royce turbine and four blades, and that's about it.
What does it cruise at? And
140. It
Nice.
can get up to 140 knots.
Wow.
And
What kind of RPM does it turn for the main rotor?
you know, it's about. I'd have to go back to the book on that one.
Somewhere near 100%, right? 90
Oh.
to 100% on the gauge.
Well,
In the green arc. It turns in the green
That's all
arc.
I need to know is as long as we're at 100% on the gauge, then we're good to
Yeah,
go.
that's it. You were fixed wing first before
Yep.
rotor.
Yep.
So what's the biggest change going fixed wing to rotor?
The third axis, you know. So, and it's when people go, "What's it like?" I would describe it. Your initial flight, trying to fly them, is like rubbing your stomach and patting your head with forearms, and but then it all just comes together, and it's one of those you don't think, you just let it talk to you, and that's the way it goes down. I don't even think about inputs anymore. It's like riding a bike. Once you get it down, it's all good. But that third axis can be daunting at
is that
first.
the collective?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. Now the question that everybody always asked me, and for a long time I didn't know because I was just a fixed wing guy. What are the little pointy things on the top and bottom there?
Here,
Yep.
these are wire cutters, which, you know, if you get into the wires, the thing is it's supposed to slide in there and cut the wires here or there. But I've never really figured out how they're really effective when you've got a blade all the way out
Yeah,
here.
it's sticking down
It's gonna hit
there.
the wire first.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So you haven't tested them yet?
No, you
No.
can see the paint is still on them.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Awesome.
Well, let's go fly.
Let's go fly.
We got an absolutely amazing aerial tour of Jeff and Gina's property, not to mention the fact that it was just a super cool helicopter flight. This little plateau here is where the Indians used to run buffalo off the edge, chase them down there, so they would all run off the edge, and then they would fall, and then they would be able to easily harvest them without having to actually shoot bows and arrows and things like that at them. Overall, just a super cool place, super cool people. Jeff and Gina are two of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and Jeff is one heck of a helicopter pilot. Can only imagine what the guy can do with a fixed-wing aircraft as well. The other neat thing about this property and having a helicopter like this is you can just kind of shoot right on over and visit your kids and grandkids anytime you want and go hover over the house, wave to them, and then buzz on back to your place. Overall, absolutely a breathtaking flight and super amazing spot. Well, it's about time to head on out of post on over to Clovis, New Mexico to go meet up with some other fellow Soldovians. Jeff and Gina were absolutely amazing. That was a crazy flight.
That helicopter ride, like
That's gonna be hard to top.
We just peaked way early in the trip. I don't even know how we're gonna top that. All I know is that I'm gonna start working on my helicopter certificate here pretty soon.
I think we have to sign up for some rotor classes.
That was amazing.
That was pretty cool. We said we're gonna get our glider search this winter, but as soon as we get the glider done, we can do rotor.
I mean, I need multi-engine too, but
we can do multi-engine rotor.
Multi-engine
That's
rotor.
a thing. That's a thing for way out of our price range.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, we're gonna be really.
But that was pretty crazy and amazing food here in Post. It's oh my gosh, it's a beautiful place.
This town is actually really nice. It reminds me of Soldovia. I feel right at home. It's full of wildlife everywhere, surprisingly.
Yeah. And everything's bigger in Texas. It's really true. That's a crazy huge ranch.
Really liking Texas. I'm like, maybe we should get property here.
Well, Texas could be in the cards, but in the meantime, Clovis. On to Clovis. The reason for heading to Clovis was to go visit Ted and Patty, who run Aerotech, this amazing company that does a ton of aerial firefighting and aerial application spraying with airplanes and helicopters, and just this awesome facility they have that we were lucky enough to get a little tour of.
Yeah, keep going. It's like,
Step on here?
Yep. It's like a kid climbing in a treehouse. So hold that handle. There's been a lot more crop dusters hurt, falling off the airplanes than there has been crashing them. So open that door, we fold it down. There you go.
Can you step here?
Yeah, you can step there.
Woo! It's harder than it looks.
It's a nice roomy cockpit.
What does the ignition button do? I could do this. Cut me loose.
So you see those lot bars in the other airplanes? You'll have a lot bar. It's a guidance system out on the nose.
Okay.
And then, so you take this up. So pull back on the stick. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Control check. Yeah, this is.
Can you see over the instrument panel?
I can actually. Yeah.
Yeah?
This is. I mean.
Yeah.
I actually kind of fit.
Okay, we do a little bit of spraying, and that's our 407 like Jeff's that we wrote in. 3,800 pounds of titanium and bulletproof glass and Calvar. So they're so heavy with the bulletproof stuff.
So if you guys can't already tell, it's an incredibly huge, amazing complex. They even have parts rooms for Part 91 operations and Part 135 ops. It's a huge complex, at least 20 or 30 airplanes, its own private 1 mile long runway. Just an incredible setup they have that Ted and Patty have really built all from the ground up. It's a true built from the ground up family run company.
Yeah, this holds 15 people. And
Is this what the Coast Guard uses, or?
they use more. No, they use Sikorsky's.
Okay.
Two red buttons up there on the top right, and push them forward. And that livens her up.
Yeah.
The turbine's all right within here.
Yep.
So intake's coming up.
Yeah, the engine's basically backwards, so the drive shaft goes into the transmission.
Okay.
And you got one output going to your main rotor, and another output going to your tail rotor. So you got a shaft going all the way down the tail boom.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can't see the compressor turbine. It's up.
The compressor's way up there.
Up in the top. Yeah,
Gotcha.
It's an absolute nightmare to work on. But,
So which one's your favorite to fly?
probably this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. They all have their own little things I like about them. You know.
It seems like a Ferrari. You do things in it, you just can't
Yeah.
fathom. You want to get in it?
Oh yeah.
This would be such a weird thing to get used to.
It
like-
is. It really is.
Move one of them, you gotta move the rest of them.
Yeah.
So we wrapped up our tour there looking at all the firefighting aircraft and all the spraying aircraft for aerial application. And of course, when you have that many aircraft that are dropping some sort of spray or water or something, you've got a lot of trucks to go ahead and support all those airplanes as well, as they're constantly coming in, picking up a new load, flying off and dropping it, flying back in and getting loaded back up again. Probably the best part of the whole tour, at least for Sia, was the bear rug in the office there. She certainly made herself at home, just crawling all over the bear. Doesn't really get to do that in real life in Alaska. I think she would be a snack very quickly for any of the brown bears up here. Overall, again, a great place to stop and amazing people to spend time with. We hopped back in the truck and continued our trek westbound to Albuquerque to visit some family for the holiday. We spent the night in another lovely Walmart parking lot with this beautiful view, and the next day got back on the road, and we will pick that back up in the next episode for you guys as we continue our trek back towards Phoenix to eventually reunite with the airplane. And I promise there will be some flying to come in the episodes here soon. In the meantime, you guys know what to do. Like the video if you do, subscribe if you have not already, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Bit was actually in Russia, and this was a light bulb tester. So back in the day, you would see how many watts the light bulb could take. So we'd put a light bulb in there, lock everything down, throw the juice to it till it exploded. And so they're like, going, what do you do with that? So
That's
we converted it.
oh nice. That's my type of light bulb tester.
Yeah.